Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Alex Eala set to make history in French Open debut. Manila, Philippines. History will be made on Sunday, May 25, when Alex Eala hits her first left-handed forehand drive on the hallowed red clay court of Roland-Garros. Eala will see action in the main draw of the 2025 French Open in Paris, France, which she faces Emiliana Arango of Colombia in the opening round. Her debut in the second Grand Slam event of the season will make Eala the first Filipino tennis player, male or female, to ever play in the singles main draw of a Grand Slam event in the Open era. The Tennis Open era refers to the time after 1968 when amateurs and professional players were finally allowed to compete against each other, effectively ending the distinction between pros and amateurs in tennis. Today's modern tennis is part of the Open era. Eala will be up against world no. 88 Emiliana Arango of Colombia in the opening round, and for the first time in a WTA event, the Filipina will face an opponent who does not outrank her. This, though, does not in any way mean it will be smooth sailing for the world no. 69 Filipina when she makes her Grand Slam debut. Turning 20 years old just this May 23, Eala needs to bring her A game against an opponent who not only has had a pretty solid season thus far, but has shown in the past the ability to come back from adversity. As an unseeded player, Arango bagged the title of the WTA 125 Cancun Tennis Open in Mexico last February. She followed this up with another impressive showing in her next tournament. She won 2 qualifying matches to reach the main draw of the WTA 500 Merida Akron Open in Yucatan, Mexico, then made it all the way to the finals where she lost in straight sets to world no. 9 Emma Navarro of the United States. Arango's outstanding February showing earned for her a new career high world ranking of 79th by March of this year. The 24-year-old Arango is a known clay court specialist whose style of play is characterized by aggressive baseline play. But she has also shown that she is not afraid to approach the net and vary her attack. She is also known for her mental strength and poise that have been key in her wins and her ability to come back from injuries. The Colombian is not known as a big server. This plays into Eala's penchant for pouncing on opponents' serves by hitting it powerfully on the rise, setting the tone of the rallies. Eala will lead to keep the ball in play and push Arango on the defensive by forcing her to move from side to side and scramble for returns. The winner of the Eala-Arango tussle will move on to the second round where she would face either world no. 8 Qin Wenjun of China or former world no. 11 and 2021 French Open runner-up Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova of Russia. Philippine tennis legends. Before Eala, legendary Filipino players Felicissimo Ampon, Raimundo Darro, Johnny José, Cesar Carmona, and Guillermo Willie Hernandez all played in numerous Grand Slam singles events before the Open era. The Mighty Might, Ampon made the quarterfinals of the French Open in 1952 and 1953. This remains the best finish by any Filipino in a Grand Slam singles event. Largely considered the greatest Filipino tennis player of all time, Ampon likewise reached the 4th round of the U.S. Open 4 times, 1948 to 1950, 1952, and the 3rd round of Wimbledon thrice, 1949, 1950, 1953. Darro advanced to the 4th round of the French Open in 1951 and 1953. He also made it all the way to the 3rd round of the U.S. Open, 1946, 1955, and Wimbledon, 1948, 1953. The other Filipinos who played in a Grand Slam singles events prior to the Open era were José, 1955 U.S. Open first round, Carmona, 1946 U.S. Open second round, 1950 and 1951 French Open second round, 1950 Wimbledon third round, and Hernandez, 1959 Australian Open second round, 1961 U.S. Open second round, 1962 Wimbledon second round. The last time a player with Filipino roots played in the singles main draw of a Grand Slam in the Open era was 21 years ago. Former Philippine team stalwart Cecil Mehmet saw action in the 2004 Australian Open men's singles, where he lost in straight sets in the first round to former world no. 1 Leighton Hewitt. However, Mehmet was still representing the United States during those years. He transferred federations and started representing the Philippines during the 2005 Southeast Asian Games in Manila. Mehmet played in the main draw all of 4 Grand Slam events, reaching the second round of the Australian Open, 1999, 2001, the French Open, 2001, 2002, and the US Open, 1999. Another former Philippine team member, Eric Tano, played in the US Open men's singles main draw in 2001 and 2002. But he too was still representing the United States in those years and switched to the Philippine Federation in 2005 with Mehmet. The best finish by a Filipino in a Grand Slam event was achieved by doubles specialist and longtime Philippine team player Trick Huey, partnering with Max Mirny of Belarus. The pair reached the men's doubles semifinals of Wimbledon in 2016. The recently retired Huey also reached the men's doubles quarterfinals of the US Open in 2013 and the Australian Open in 2014 and 2016. Eala is now in a position to make more history in the French Open. A victory in the singles opening round will be unprecedented and will already match Mehmet's best Grand Slam finish. Eala is also set to join the women's doubles event with Renata Zarazua of Mexico as her partner. This will make her the first Filipina to play in the women's doubles competition of a Grand Slam event. A rising star from the Philippines. Alex Eala's journey to the French Open has been nothing short of extraordinary. Born and raised in the Philippines, Eala has defied expectations and broken barriers in a country where tennis is not traditionally a major sport. Her talent was evident early on. She clinched the 2022 US Open girls singles title, becoming the first Filipina to win a Grand Slam singles title. Since then, she has been a fixture on the international tennis scene, training at the prestigious Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain, where she has honed her skills under the guidance of tennis legend Rafael Nadal. The breakthrough at the 2025 Miami Open. Eala's breakthrough came earlier this year at the 2025 Miami Open, where she stunned the tennis world with a series of remarkable victories. Competing as a wild card, she defeated world No. 25 Jelena Ostapenko in straight sets, marking the first time a Filipino player had beaten a top 30 opponent since the WTA rankings were introduced in 1975. She followed that up with a dominant win over world No. 5 Madison Keys, becoming the first Filipino to defeat a top 10 player in the Open era. Eala's run ended in the semifinals against world No. 2 Iga Swiatek, but her performance catapulted her into the WTA Top 100 and earned her a direct entry into the French Open main draw. A historic debut at Roland-Garros. The 2025 French Open marks a historic moment for Eala in Philippine tennis. She is the first Filipina to compete in the singles main draw of a Grand Slam tournament, joining an elite group of Filipino players who have made their mark on the international stage. Eala's inclusion in the tournament is a testament to her hard work, determination, and the support of her family and coaches. Filipinos in the 6X. As she steps onto the clay courts of Roland-Garros, Eala carries the hopes and dreams of a nation behind her. Her journey is not just about tennis. It's about breaking barriers, inspiring future generations, and proving that with talent and perseverance, anything is possible. Filipinos in the 6X. Looking ahead. While the French Open is a significant milestone, it is just the beginning for Alex Eala. With her talent, work ethic, and the experience gained from competing at the highest level, the future looks bright for this young Filipina tennis star. As she continues to rise through the ranks, Eala is poised to become a dominant force in women's tennis, inspiring countless others along the way. Alex Eala's historic debut at the 2025 French Open is a moment of pride for the Philippines, and a reminder that dreams, no matter how big, are within reach for those willing to work hard and believe in themselves.